स्तम्भे अवतारस्तुमनन्यरभ्यं लक्ष्मीं नृसिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। आधराहितचारुवंशनालाः मकुटालम्बिमयूरपिञ्छमालाः हारिनीलशिलाविभङ्गलीलाः प्रतिभाः सन्तु मम अन्तिमप्रयाणे। कृष्णा त्वदीयपदपङ्कजपञ्जरान्तम् अद्यैव मे विशतु मानसराजहंसः। प्राणप्रयाणसमये कफवातपित्तैः कण्ठावरोधनविधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते। ॐ लक्ष्मीं क्षीरसमुद्रराजतनयां श्रीरङ्गधामीश्वरीं दासीपुरमस्देववनितां लोकैकदीपाङ्कुरां श्रीमन्मन्दकटाक्षलब्धविभवद्ब्रह्मेन्द्रगङ्गाधरां त्वां त्रैलोक्यकुटुम्बिनीं सरसिजां वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियाम्। मातर्नमामि कमले कमलायताक्षी श्रीविष्णुः विश्वमातः क्षीरोदजे कमलकोमलगर्भगौरी लक्ष्मी प्रसीद सततं नमतां शरण्ये। Narayana Narayana. Welcome back to this session on Sri Stuti. We have seen yesterday in the 15th verse, Mahatma Deshika says, Yasyam Yasyam Dishi Viharati Devi Drishtis Tvadiyam Tashyam Tashyam Aham Ahamikam Tanvate Sampadograha. If people are still suffering, either from poverty or from difficulties, that is because we don't have the grace of Mahalakshmi. Because in whichever direction Mahalakshmi's just either face turns, or even her eyes move, or even the sidelong glances fall, that is enough. All the fortunes will be just rushing in that direction. Me first, me first, me first. Dhana Kanaka Vastu Vahanas. Whether it is money or gold or material benefit or in the form of affluence, everything will move in that direction. That is Mahalakshmi's Anugraham. And when will that happen? Yoga Rambhatvarittamanaso Yushmadaikancha Yuktam Dharmam Praptum Pradhamihaye Dharayante Dhanayam Tesham Bhume Tanapati Gruhat Ambarat Ambudherva Dhara Niryan Chedikamadikam Vanchitanam Vasunam. For that, a devotee has to make up his mind or her mind. Do you really want to practice that Karma Yoga? And that too, that Karma Yoga in the path of Dharma. That is practicing Bhakti absolutely. When we make up our mind like that we are interested in practicing Karma Yoga with the pure Bhakti and Yushmat Aikantya Yuktam, that single-minded loyalty to the Divya Dampatis, Sri Mahalakshmi and Narayana. Yushmat Aikantya Yuktam, that Pativrata Bhakti, single-minded focus. Even you look at a child, suppose a child is there, even if there are 100 ladies, the child will call only to his mother or her mother, not everyone. The child can identify the mother. Even if there are 100 ladies sitting, the child will crawl only to the mother. Same thing, you keep 1,000 children there. Your mother can go and identify her child. That way, let there be 1,000 gods and goddesses. Can you stick only to our parents, Sri Mahalakshmi and Sriman Narayana? Yushmat Aikantya Yuktam. Completely focused on the Divya Dampatis only. And to such surrendered souls, because you want to practice dharma, and whatever is needed to practice dharma, all that desired wealth will be pouring in. Either from the ground, you start digging, you may find some buried treasures, or from the god of wealth, Kubera. How they will give, we don't even know. It will just come automatically. Or from the skies, as a rain of gold coins, or from the ocean, like a treasure that is washing ashore to you. Now comes the next 17th verse. Shreyas kamaha kamala nilaye chitramamnaya vacham chuda pidam tavapada yugam chetasa dharayantah Chhatrachaya subhaga shirasas chamarasmera parshvam Shlagha shabda shravana mudita shragvinas sancharanti. Hey Sri Mahalakshmi, Kamala Nilaye, always residing in the lotus flowers. The jnana should bloom like a lotus flower. The minute we have become spiritual, our jnana, what is eternal, what is not eternal, what is materialistic, what is spiritual, what is mine, what is not mine, everything should be very clear to you. Hey Mahalakshmi, all those devotees, if they are focused on their spiritual well-being, their only worshipful thing are your feet. And your lotus feet are glorified in all the Vedas. Amnaya Vacham. Amnaya means Veda, Veda Vakyas. Chuda Pidam, even the crown of the Vedas, namely the Upanishads. And if they are like that, truly surrendered to you, Mahalakshmi, all those people will be honored by the other people. Those pure devotees, they respect you. So they in turn are respected by the other people. That whenever they are there going, they are garlanded. Somebody will hold an umbrella for them. Somebody will do the chamaras for them. And they are completely praised for their achievements, whether they are material achievements or spiritual achievements. The question is, you go near a magnet, slowly you will also get magnetized. When you are magnetized, you will start attracting other iron pieces. They will get magnetized. That is the relationship. The minute you go to Sri Mahalakshmi, you become pure. You glorify Mahalakshmi. People glorify you. Here they say, Chhatrachaya Subhaga Shirasas Chamaras Mera Parshvaha Shlagha Shabda Shravana Muddaha Shragvinaha sancharanti. You are looking for social status. You are looking for some respect. You are looking for some acceptability in the society. Follow that absolute Sharanagati. You will get it automatically. You will get it automatically. You do not have to ask for it. It will come to you naturally. That is the grace of Sri Mahalakshmi. Look at the Mahatma. He remained so poor. He never aspired for any wealth. But still Mahalakshmi gave him everything. Vedanta Deshika. He is respected. There are so many temples for him. His prayers are there chanted by so many devotees. Our idea should be how to surrender to Sri Mahalakshmi wholeheartedly. Uri kartum kushalam akhilam jetumadinaraten duri kartum durita nibaham tyaktumadhyam avidyam ambastambhavatika jananagrama seemantarekham alambante vimala manaso Vishnu Kante Dayante. Hey Sri Mahalakshmi, Vishnu Kante. She is the Kanta of Sri Mahavishnu. Sriman Narayana, the Supreme Lord, accepted Sri Mahalakshmi as his wife. Sri Mahalakshmi accepted him as her husband. Hey Vishnu Kante, hey Vishnu Priye, pure devotees, they always appeal to your mercy. Every one of us are looking for prosperity. Some people for material prosperity, some people for spiritual prosperity. In spiritual prosperity, there is nothing like you can measure. I want $1 million, I want $5 million. That spiritual merit is Tava Nitya Kinkaratam Prardhaye. Nityam Niraparadheshu Kainkaryeshu Niyukshvamam. Tava Nitya Kinkaratam Prardhaye. Spiritual progress is asking Sri Mahalakshmi and Sriman Narayana, the Devi Dampatis, only for one thing. May you kindly engage me in your service. Nityam, all the time. Niraparadheshu, without committing mistakes, apacharams. Kainkaryeshu Niyukshvamam, not that I want to do Kainkaryam. You please appoint me. Because I have this built-in ego. I have this wavering mind. I always feel I want it. That's not correct. The wavering mind will not be steady the minute I think I want it. If you appoint me and if you order this is the service that you must do, at least I will be forced to do. You appoint me. Say in an office you are working. If your boss is asking how come that is not done, you simply say, that's not in my job description. That's not my job. But if what is your job, if you are not doing, you are answerable to your boss. So what is it you should pray to Mahalakshmi? Mahalakshmi, give me an appointment to be your servant, to be your menial servant. Nityam Niraparadheshu Kainkaryeshu Niyukshvamam. That is spiritual prosperity. And why they are asking for spiritual prosperity? Duri kartum duritanimham. Because we all have this inbuilt negative qualities. They are so natural for all of us, inbuilt negative qualities. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas. They are so inbuilt, they are so embedded. Arishad Vargas, they are the six enemies. Kama, the desires that are against dharma. Krodha, our anger. Lobha, our greediness. Moha, our attachment for so many material things. Other jivatmas, wife, husband, children. Mada, ego, based on I'm so beautiful, I'm so young, I'm so rich, I'm so powerful. We have various things to feel proud about. Matsarya, jealousy. We are jealous of others' progress. We are jealous of others' greatness. We are jealous of others' wealth. We are jealous of others' children. So many things. You don't need to be jealous. You know the popular saying, I don't know why, but I cannot stand her. Means she is so repulsive. Without our knowledge, we develop some hatred or jealousy or something like that. So, people are looking for spiritual progress to overcome their internal enemies, Arishad Vargas, and to overcome their avidya, ignorance. Viparita Jnanam sometimes. All Devi Devatas are the same. Who said that? No fool will accept New York City mayor is equal to New York State governor is equal to United States president. Why are they equating all gods are the same? Why should Krishna say Anya Devatas? Why should Krishna say you will go to Devalokam? Why should Krishna say even if you go to Devalokam you will come back and take birth? Why should Krishna say only when you go to Vaikuntham you will not come back? Krishna specifically said worship Devatas, you go to Devalokam. Worship Bhuta Prataganas, you go to Bhutalokam, Ganalokam. Worship Pitur Devatas, you go to Pitralokam. Worship me, the Supreme Lord, you will come to me, the Supreme Abode, the Sri Vaikuntham. So avidya, oh, all gods are the same. Oh, I can offer praise whatever way I want. I can do whatever I want. I can eat whatever I want. God has created everything for my enjoyment. Avidya. So pure devotees, spiritual progress is to overcome the internal enemies and to overcome our ignorance and to wipe out all our sins. Durita nivaham. Duritas, we have so much of sins, so much of sanchita karma which we got rid of at the time of our Sharanagati. But what about the prarabdha karma? As we keep on appealing, who knows, Krishna can even wipe out our prarabdha karma. Because we still have attachment. We still have attachments. I want to see my daughter's marriage. I want to see my son's graduation. I want to see at least one grandchild. How our family lineage will continue. So many things like that. That's why Krishna is not interfering. Once you got rid of all your desires, when Krishna decides, yes, you are not attached to anything, then he can even wipe out the prarabdha karma and take us away right away to Vaikuntham. So wiping out our sins is very, very important. If that is the case, that Mahalakshmi's unimaginable mercy will cover the entire population in all the universes. Whether it is Amba Stambha Vatika Janana Grama Simanta Rekham, whether it is a blade of grass or to the highest living entity, Jivatma, Brahma, whether it is the four-faced Brahma or the insignificant blade of grass, everything will be drenched in the compassion of our mother, Mahalakshmi. How fortunate we should be that we are at least, even if sometimes you know the meaning, you don't know the meaning, you still are chanting Sri Stuti. Not everybody is a medical doctor, but the medicine will work for you if you take it from the qualified doctor. When a qualified doctor is prescribing and you are taking the medication appropriately, the medicine is working on you. The medicine will do its job. But if you're a doctor, you know the disease, you know the symptoms, and you know what will cure it, and you have taken, you have the satisfaction. And if you're not a doctor, you don't know all these things, just have faith in the doctor. It will work for you. Sri Mahalakshmi, same way, her compassion will encompass the entire universe, all creatures in the universe. For Mahalakshmi's grace, nobody is there as not qualified. Everybody qualifies. The mother's grace is the most merciful one, which every one of us can enjoy. What all we have to do is accept her as our mother. That is the only thing that we have to do. If only we can do that one thing, Mahalakshmi is my mother, the rest of it will follow automatically. If she is the mother, automatically Narayana is our father. We don't have to say separately. We don't have to say separately. Mahalakshmi is my mother, Narayana is my father. The minute we accepted the mother, the father is understood. There is a small difference there. Say, for example, the four brothers, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna. If one of them are saying, my father is Dasharatha, it still leaves with some ambiguity. Who is the mother? Could it be Kausalya or Sumitra or Kaikeyi? But suppose if Rama says, my mother is Kausalya, automatically it is understood the father is Dasharatha. Are you getting the point here? When somebody says, say for example, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna, suppose one of the brothers are saying, my father is Dasharatha, that statement still leaves with some ambiguity. Who is the mother? Is the mother Kausalya or Sumitra or Kaikeyi? But if somebody says, my mother is Kausalya, there is no ambiguity at all that the father is automatically Dasharatha. Same way, the minute you say, my mother is Sri Mahalakshmi, it is automatically understood that your father is Sriman Narayana. Well, you may say, what is wrong if you say my father is Sriman Narayana? Well, the mother can be Mahalakshmi or Bhudevi or Neela Devi or one of the 8 Pattameshris, anyone. That is the beauty. Same way, Krishna had so many children. At least let us take the popular ones. Rukmini Devi's son is Pradyumna. Jambavati's son is Samba. If Pradyumna says, my father is Lord Krishna, that still leaves with some kind of an ambiguity. Is the mother Rukmani or Jambavati or Satyabhama, etc.? But if Pradyumna says, my mother is Rukmani, it goes without saying his father is automatically Lord Krishna. So let us all accept Sri Mahalakshmi as our mother first. Then that avidya is gone. When the avidya is gone, we will become eligible for the compassion of Sri Mahalakshmi. For so many people, our suffering is because of our avidya. Every minute we should pat ourselves and make sure that we are not falling victims to avidya. Jata Kanksha, for the benefit of those Sudha, etc., who join now, we are doing Sri Stuti, verse number 19. Jata Kanksha Janani Yuvayo Eka Sevadhikare Maya Lidham Vivavam Akhilam Manyamana Strunaya Priche Vishno Tavacha Kutinaha Priti Manto Bhajante Vela Bhanga Prashamana Phalam Vaidikam Dharma Setum. There are some fortunate devotees because they accumulated that fortune over the past millions of births. And what is that fortune? Their fortune is they are interested in serving the Divya Dampatis, the divine couple. The divine couple, which includes Sri Mahalakshmi and Sriman Narayana as one single entity, couple, Dampatis. Hey Mahalakshmi, they are the fortunate ones. Their only interest is to serve you too. And such Mahatmas consider all this material wealth is of no use. All the material wealth is of no use. Manyamana Strunaya is not even worth a blade of grass. Let's look at a practical example. So many rich people are there in America. Yes, when everything is good, a huge mansion, cars, money, servants. Suppose they got COVID-19 or something, get admitted. Not even a relative to come and see them. Nobody even to take care of them. The hospital people doing their duty. Even after death, God knows how their last rites are done. What happens to all the money? What happens to all the influence? What happens to all the big house, cars, family members? It's just not worth anything. Whereas, even if they get COVID-19 or anything, in whatever condition they are, hospital, house, anywhere, if they are there constantly thinking of the Divya Dampatis, that Dvayamantra Ucharana, they have everything. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is there to take care of them. So they are the fortunate devotees who are interested in serving the Divya Dampatis only. And for such people, material benefits are of no consideration at all. How do we know that? That is proved more than once. The great king, the Mahatma Yamunacharya, was once upon a time a king. The king of Madurai gave half his kingdom to Yamunacharya, the child prodigy, who could defeat Vidvajjana Kolahala, got half the kingdom. But Nathamuni's students, they came and told Yamunacharya, your grandfather left a huge heritage for you, an unimaginable wealth. guarded by a huge snake and by demons. Come and take possession of your property. Yamunacharya came and saw the divine feet of Lord Sriranganatha as the heritage left by Nathamuni, guarded by Adisesha, always worshipped by Vibhishana the demon. Yamunacharya left Tatitarani Trunaya Mene. He left everything, the kingdom, everything, and said, yes, this is the real wealth. Same thing, Mahatma Vedanta Deshika was offered millions and millions to be the poet laureate in the Vijayanagara Empire. He said, no, dhana mushti muche kuchela mulaye datteshpa vichesitam. I will rather surrender to my Sriman Narayana only, but not go and take a paid job and keep glorifying the kings. Nasti pitrarjitam kinchit namaya kinchidarjitam asti me hastishelagre vastu paitamaham dhanam. Such Mahatmas are there. Such Mahatmas are there. Tatitarani trunaya meni. Manyamana trunaya. Trunam is just a blade of grass. You are not interested. You go outside and you cut the grass. Do you count how many blades of grass you have cut? It is just nothing. Dump it. Material wealth is of no significance at all for pure devotees. And they strictly follow Prichai Vishnoho Tavacha Kurtanaha Pritimanto Bhajante. They strictly follow the Vedic Dharma. That they do what are all their ordained duties, daily duties, occasional duties. Velabhanga Prashamana Phalam Vaidikam Dharma Setum. And they will never transgress the Vedic injunctions. Not only they follow Dharma, they are afraid they will never cross the Vedic Dharma. That is more important. That is why Mahatma Deshika says in one of them, the Nyasa Dashakam, Akrutyanancha Karanam Krutyanam Varjanancha Me. Hey Krishna, Krutyanam Varjanancha Me. We are all supposed to do some prayers, some religious acts, which we are not doing. What we are supposed to do, we are not doing. Akrutyanancha Karanam. What we are not supposed to do, we are doing. Both are mistakes. If you do not do what you are supposed to do, you are making a mistake. If you do something which is forbidden, which you are not supposed to do, that is also a mistake. Simple example. You have a Yajnapavitam. You are supposed to do 3 times a day Sandhya Vandanam. You don't do it. You are expected to do that. You don't do it. It is a mistake. Expected to do and you don't know, it is a mistake. What you are not expected to do, you do. We are not supposed to visit gambling houses. But we do go to casinos, etc. to enjoy. What we are not supposed to do, we do. Both are mistakes. Same thing. Greediness. We are not supposed to be greedy. Immediately people will say, what do you mean? You make 100,000, you donate all 100,000 to charity, what is it I will do? No, God doesn't say that you donate everything for charity. It seems only in Krita Yuga, whatever they earned, they gave everything for charity. Even by the time Rama's time came, it came only to 1/4 they gave to charity. 1/4, 25%. Krishna's time, Dwapara Yuga, 1/8, 12.5%. Kali Yuga, 1/16, 6.25% only in Kali Yuga. But we don't even give 6.25% to charity, dharma karyas. So people consider we are greedy. Bhagavan considers we are greedy. Yes, you are supposed to take care of your wife, your husband, your children, your family, your mortgage, your bills to pay. Fine. Do it with 93.75% of your earnings. Krishna doesn't say give everything to dharma. 93.75% you do for your own family, personal needs, etc. But the remaining 6.25%, give it to dharma karyam, where it is used only to glorify the Divya Dampatis. Greediness. What we are supposed to do, we are not doing. What we are not supposed to do, we are doing. Nitya Naimittika karmas. Like say day before yesterday, Amavasya. Those people who do not have their parents, or at least even if the father is not there, they are all supposed to do the Pitru Tarpanas. Every Amavasya, every Sankramanam, monthly 2 times, and yearly once, the annual ceremonies. We are supposed to do, but we are not doing. What we are supposed to do, we don't do. What we are not supposed to do, don't take alcoholic drinks, people take. Don't go to gambling houses, people go. Akrutya, both are mistakes. So spiritual progress is not only attachment to the service of Divya Dampatis, it also means a detachment from the worldly activities. Then that Mahalakshmi's grace will certainly be with us. Seve Devi Tadasha Mahila Maulimala Chitante Siddhikshetram Shamita Vipadam Sampadam Padapadmam Yasmin Nishan Namita Sharaso Yapayitva Shariram Vartishyante Vitamasi Pade Vasudevasya Dhanyah. Hey Sri Mahalakshmi, may we be fortunate to prostrate at your lotus feet. Because your lotus feet are worshipped by all the goddesses, Devatas. Tridasha Mahila Mauli Malarchitante. Tridasha Mahila. Tridashas are Devi Devatas. Mahila, they are ladies. Because your lotus feet will wipe out all our miseries. Whether it is due to the physical elements, Panchabhutas, or it is related to our soul, the individual Jivatma's karma, or it is an act of God, like rains, fires, earthquakes, all these things. Mahalakshmi's lotus feet can wipe out all our miseries. Tapatraya, Sadhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. And all those pure devotees who have done that unconditional Sharanagati are guaranteed to reach Sri Vaikuntham. That Sri Vaikuntham, the eternal abode of Lord Sri Vasudeva, Paravasudeva. Why it is called Shuddha Sattvamayam? Shuddha Sattvamayam is Sri Vaikuntham. Even Sattvaguna may have some contamination. Shuddha Sattvam, pure goodness. that Shuddha Sattvamaya Srivaikuntam, which is free from any and all material contamination, and also associated with any kind of ignorance, avidya. Srivaikuntam is beyond all these things. That is why it is a Shuddha Sattva. And that Shuddha Sattva Srivaikuntam is the eternal abode of that Paravasudeva. That Paravasudeva, that Shadgunya Paripurna Vasudeva, Shadgunya Paripurna Vasudeva, Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, Virya, Shakti, Teja, Shadgunya Paripurna Vasudeva, may we reach his abode. And that is possible by doing our Sharanagati at the feet of Sri Mahalakshmi and through her at the feet of Sriman Narayana. So the guiding principle for us are the lotus feet of Sri Mahalakshmi. And that is one reason why Bhagavad Ramanuja in his famous Sharanagati Gajyam starts with Sharanagati to Sri Mahalakshmi only, Bhagavan Narayana Vimatanurupa. Nityanapayini, Devadeva Divya Mahishim, Akhila Jagan Mataram, Asmat Mataram. Most important, Asharanya Sharanyam, Ananya Sharanaha. One should approach Sri Mahalakshmi and Sriman Narayana. Not that by saying, oh, I have so much of following, I'm so great. But in spite of that, I just want to come to you. That's not the way. Akinchanaha ananyagatihi sharanya. Tvatpada moolam sharanam prapajye. Krishna, I am Akinchana. I have nowhere to go. I have nobody to protect me. Ananyagatihi. There is no other way for me, Krishna, other than your feet. There is no other procedure I know to reach you. There is no other ritual I know that I have to do to reach you. The only thing I know to surrender to you. If I do that kind of Sharanagati at the feet of Sri Mahalakshmi, which are worshipped by all the ladies, the Devata's wives, that Mahalakshmi's grace will lead us to Sri Vaikuntham. That is Shuddha Sattvamaya Sri Vaikuntham, the eternal abode of that Paravasudeva. Enjoy. Strictly following that Sharanagati that we did at the feet of Sri Mahalakshmi. Sanu prasa prakitata dayehi sandra vatsalya digdhayehi ambastigdhayehi amritalahari labdha sabrahmacharyehi dharme tapatraya virachite gadha taptam kshanam akinchanya glapita manakaihi ardrayedha katakshayehi. He Mahalakshmi, He Jagannmata, He Universal Mother, Amba, Universal Mother. He Mahalakshmi, this Jivatma is continuously scorched by the three fires. Dharme tapatraya virachite gadha taptam kshanam. Gadha taptam, severely burnt with the three fires. Tapatrayas, Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, related to the Atma, related to the Panchabhutas, related to the Devi Devatas. And the only thing that can wipe out these fires is a shower of your grace, a shower of your affectionate glances, because even your sight, even those beautiful glances of yours, Mahalakshmi, are filled with tender love. Such an affection is there in your sight itself, Sri Mahalakshmi. Vatsalyam, Sandra Vatsalya Digdhaihi. Vatsalyam, Vatsa literally means a newborn calf. A cow has given birth to a calf, just born calf. The mother cow itself will bite the umbilical cord for the calf. The mother cow itself will lick all the dirt, unimaginable dirt on the body of the calf and spit it. Lick and spit continuously. The mother cow will not even feel it as disgusting because of the unimaginable affection the mother cow has for the calf. Vatsalyam, that kind of mercy Mahalakshmi is having on her pure surrendered souls. And her compassion is like Amrutam, the celestial nectar. And her affectionate glances are the most purifying, are extremely soothing and cool for this scorched Jivatma. This Jivatma is almost like three fires are there attacking you from all three sides, and you have nowhere to go. Sometimes the karma that we ourselves have done, that we have to go through. Sometimes the changes that are there in the bhutas, either in the form of earthquakes, or in the form of floods, or in the form of fires, or in the form of thunders. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, due to the Devi Devatas, that we don't offer proper balis, etc. The Devi Devatas showing their anger on us. We don't do the Pitrukaryams properly. The Pitru Devatas getting angry on us. All these things, if you want to overcome, the Tapatrayas, the best way to overcome is by surrendering at the feet of Sri Mahalakshmi. Then those unimaginable cool glances will flow towards you as much as the affection of a mother cow towards its newborn calf. What else we need when Mahalakshmi is there to take care of us? Can we maintain that faith in Sri Mahalakshmi? That is the only thing that we have to think. Now, when we practice that kind of avyaja bhakti, for no reason, why are you worshipping Sri Mahalakshmi? Because we love Mahalakshmi. It doesn't require a reason. We should never say, oh, if I worship Mahalakshmi, I get wealth. That should not be the motivating factor. Just as a child loves its mother, just as a mother loves its child, just for the pure love, same way we should have that love for Mahalakshmi. When we have that, Sampadyante bhavabhayatami bhanavaha tatprasadat bhava sarve bhagavati harau bhaktim udvelayantah yache kintvam ahamiha yatah shitalodarashila bhuyo bhuyo dishasya mahatam mangalanam prabandhane. He Bhagavati Mahalakshmi, Bhagavan Sivan Narayana, Bhagavati his wife, with your grace, it is only with Mahalakshmi's grace, even that Sharanagati we are doing. He Bhagavati Sri Mahalakshmi, with your grace my mind is there focused on you. In the path of absolute surrender to our Supreme Lord Sivan Narayana. When the daybreak comes, the night, the darkness of the night is gone. Same way Mahalakshmi. All my worries about this material world, which is like a very dark night, are completely dispersed because the daylight of your compassion, the sunlight of your compassion is shining on me. When the sun rises, the darkness is gone. When the compassion of Sri Mahalakshmi is there showered on us, all our karma is gone. All our fear is completely gone. The sunlight comes, the darkness is driven away. Bhuyo bhuyo dishasya mahatam mangalanam prabandha. What else I can ask you, Mahalakshmi? There is nothing more, because you always shower your unimaginable compassion on me. And your compassion itself is filled with an abundance of everything that is mangalam, that is auspicious. Mangalanam prabandhan. Your mercy itself, Mahalakshmi, is loaded with abundance of auspiciousness. So what is the need for me to pray for something more, to ask for something more? You have given me your everything, Mahalakshmi. Mata Devi Tamasi Bhagavan Vasudeva Pitami Jata Soham Janani Yuvayoho Eka Lakshyam Dayaya Tapto Yushmat Parijanataya Deshikairapchitastam Kinte Bhuya Premiti Kilas Mera Vaktra Vibhasi. Hey Mahalakshmi, after millions and millions of births, because of my positive karma, I have come across an Acharya who made me realize that you are my eternal mother and that Supreme Lord Paravasudeva, Siman Narayana, Shatgunya Paripurna, Bhagavan, Sri Vasudeva is my father. And when this Jivatma is the blessed child of you too, and when I am enjoying the grace from you too, I am extremely blessed because my Acharya offered this Jivatma as an eternal servant at your feet. That is enough for me, Mahalakshmi. That during my Sharanagati, my Acharya was most merciful to offer my Jivatma at your feet. Once we accept Sri Mahalakshmi as the mother and Sriman Narayana as our father, and the Acharya offered this Jivatma at the feet of Mahalakshmi, your face is glowing with a very, very beautiful smile. It looks as though you are asking us a simple question. What else you need more than this? Your Acharya has shown you your real mother. Your Acharya has shown you your real father. And your Acharya has offered your soul as an eternal servant to do Nitya Kainkaryam. You don't have to worry about death. You don't have to worry about birth. You don't have to worry about Garbha Narakam. You don't have to worry about Swargam or Narakam. You don't have to worry about rebirth. You don't have to worry about karma. You are guaranteed eternal place in Sri Vaikuntham to carry on your Nitya Kainkaryam. So Mahalakshmi is asking with a very nice smile on her face, what else you want? Is there anything more that you need? The highest perfection is to attain Vaikuntham. The greatest reward is to do Nitya Kainkaryam. When you got those two, what else you need? That is the beauty of surrendering to Sri Mahalakshmi. That's why that verse, Mata Devitams Bhagavan, Vasudeva Pitami. Kalyananam Avikala Nitikkampi Karunya Sima Nitya Moda Nikama Vachasam Mauli Mandara Mala Sampad Divya Madhuvijayana Sannidhattam Sudami Saishana Devi Sakala Puvana Prathana Kamadhenu. Our Divine Mother, Sri Mahalakshmi. She is the embodiment of all auspiciousness. She is the treasure house of all Mangalas. She is an unfathomable ocean of mercy, unimaginable ocean of mercy she is. She is that ever fresh Mandara flowers garland adorning the Upanishads, Vedanta. The Vedanta is only glorifying Sri Mahalakshmi. And all the divine opulence of that Supreme Lord Madhusudana is Sri Mahalakshmi. She is the supreme opulence of Sriman Narayana. And Sri Mahalakshmi is like a Kamadhenu, wish-fulfilling cow for all the people in all the universes. And may such supremely merciful Sri Mahalakshmi shower all her blessings on all of us. Sakala Bhuvana Prarthana Kamadhenu. Do not think that we, the whole human beings, are the only ones who pray to Mahalakshmi. All the Devi Devatas, their wives, Brahmeshadi Suravrajaha Sadaitaha Tvaddasa Dasi Janaha. Mahatma Yamunacharya. ब्रह्मेशादि सुरव्रजः स दयितः त्वद्दास दासी जनः. So she is worshipped by all the jivatmas in all the universes. She is the one who fulfills all the desires of all the jivatmas, like a kamadhenu, not only for the people in Bhuloka, even in Swargaloka, Brahmaloka, everywhere. That abode of auspiciousness, that treasure house of all opulences, may that Mahalakshmi's grace be showered on all of us. That should be our prayer to Sri Mahalakshmi. Kalyananam avikalamidhihi kapi karunya sima nityamodan nigamavatasa moli mandaramala sampadivyam madhvijainaha. She is the opulence of that Sriman Narayana. That is why they say tad vakshastara nityavasarasikam tat shanti samvardhini. That Mahalakshmi enhances the glory of Sriman Narayana. That Mahalakshmi enhances the beauty of Sriman Narayana. That Mahalakshmi enhances the superiority of Sriman Narayana. That Mahalakshmi enhances the radiance of that spiritual power of Sriman Narayana. Therefore, may the Divya Dampatis be pleased with us and our Sharanagati and bless us all. Upachita Guru Bhakti Ruddhitam Venkateshat Kalikalusha Nivruchaihi Kalpamanam Prajanam Sarsaja Nilayaya Stotrametat Patantah Sakala Kushara Sima Sarvabhauma Bhavanti. Vedanta Deshika is so humble in his approach to Sri Stuti. He says this great wonderful prayer to Sri Mahalakshmi Sri Stuti is composed by the Kavi called Venkatesha, Venkatanatha, Vedanta Deshika. And he is an embodiment of Guru Bhakti. That Acharya Bhakti, Vedanta Deshika says, my hair have grown white, always thinking of my Acharya, the great Ramanuja. Constantly he was thinking about Ramanuja. Embodiment of Guru Bhakti. With that kind of Acharya Kataksham, and this Sri Stuti can easily wipe out all the negative effects of the Kali Yuga. The negative effects of Kali Yuga as a Stri, Vitta, Dyuta, Prana, of indulging in illicit relationships, indulging in alcoholic drinks, indulging in gambling, indulging in Jiva Himsa. All the negative effects of Kali can be just eradicated by this prize of Sri Mahalakshmi. By this prize means by constantly chanting, your mind will understand the significance of Sri Stuti and will completely come back to Sri Mahalakshmi and do Sharanagati at her feet and through her to Sriman Narayana. Therefore, the effects of Kali will not work on you. The effects of Kali that we are bound to take birth after birth after birth, is completely ruled out for you. Sakala Kushala Sima Sarvabhuma Bhavanti. If only we are fortunate to chant the Sri Mahalakshmi's prayer with utmost faith, we will certainly enjoy all the affluence of an emperor. Sakala Kushala Sima Sarvabhuma Bhavanti. The opulence of an emperor, devotees can enjoy if only we have that absolute faith in Sri Mahalakshmi and to follow every word of Sri Stuti. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. May we all be fortunate to offer humble prostrations at the lotus feet of Venkatesha, Venkatanatha, Swami Vedanta Deshika. He is a lion among all the poets and logicians. Kavi Tarkika Kesari. Kalyana Gunashalini. He is endowed with all auspicious qualities. And his auspicious qualities, the highest one being his Guru Bhakti, Acharya Bhakti. And those Kalyana Gunas can elevate us, every one of us, to Sri Vaikuntham through the greatest principle he propagated, namely Sharanagati, Sharanagati. Vedanta Gurave Namaha, the great Vedanta Acharya. So the purpose of an Acharya is to instruct the students about how beautifully the Jivatma can enjoy that eternal happiness in Sri Vaikuntham, and how that Sri Vaikuntham can be attained through Mahavishwasam in the Divya Dampatis and Acharya, by constantly meditating on the Rasi of Mahatma Vedanta Deshika. It's about 7-8 minutes left for 10 o'clock. Amma. If you have any questions, please feel free.
Acharya, Narayan Acharya, what was the previous birth of Sri Vedanta Desika?
What is the previous?
Birth of Sri Vedanta Desika.
I'm not able to follow you, sir. Vedanta Desika's what?
Sir, was Sri Vedanta Desika previously Ramanujacharya or any Nityashuri?
No, that is not very clear. The only thing is, he is considered as the Ghantavataram. Ghantavataram. Vedanta Deshika's parents did not have children. They went to Tirupati to pray for a child. Those days, no rush, nothing. They used to go there. We are talking 750 years back. They go to Tirumala, stay there, go for darshan, sit in the hallway, keep on meditating, sometimes fall asleep. So, on one of those days, Vedanta Deshika's mother felt she swallowed the bell of Lord Venkateshwara. They thought, okay, this bell will be blessing us with a child. She came home, then she conceived. She delivered Vedanta Deshika, who is considered as the Ghantavataram, the divine bell of Lord Srinivasa. But some people consider Deshika remanifested. Ramanuja remanifested. Some people consider. But Ghantavataram is the most accepted Veda Pramanam by all the Acharyas.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Amma. No questions, Amma. Okay, relax for some time. And at 10:30 we'll have again for the Dvaya Mantra Ardham.